Hey Legends, so today I want to go over the Druid Shred. I'm genuinely finding that this build is really performing so well in Season 10, and as such I thought, well, hey, what better time to try and make a little Skinner Shred guide? So here we go. So as you can see, it is really powerful, and it's such a fun build to play. I am really having a blast so far playing it. This was pit 90 and you can delete bosses. This goes so far, I have cleared a 100 and I pretty much did very similar damage to the 100 boss. Still very casual build for me as a casual player. A lot of fun, so let's get into it. So over to our gear, when we get over to the helmet, you can use a normal legendary helmet. You can imprint for yourself just some damage reduction onto this big boy. Eventually we will get over to full chaos armor, but at this stage I don't have that personally, so there's obviously still a lot of room for improvement. For our chest piece, I currently do have the Malefic Crescent. I would say that if you do not have this, you can still equip your Mad Wolf's Glee. It is still very good to use. You do not need the Chaos Armors for this build to really shine. Even without it, you can go all the way up and easily farm up to pit 80, get yourself geared up and going along. But when you do have your Chaos uniques, Malefic Crescent would be number 1, Crown of Lucion, Fist of Fate, and then you would need, of course, the last version, you would need the Banished Lord's Talisman. I can't talk as well. I have not got that as yet, and that's why they say there is a lot of room for improvement. So, over to our runes. The most important rune would be the Moni and Zan rune, which does give you the Overpower procs. There's the boy in the background. Very good to get that because that gives us a lot of damage potential, especially when we pair it with a lot of the chaos powers that we do get this season. Our second runes that I am currently using, I am using the POC and the Quacks. Sounds so funny saying these things. I do get, you use all your resource, but then you deal a lot more damage for 1 second, but there will be synergizing aspects which I will get onto very soon. So those runes is really for min-maxing. If you do not want to use the Quacks rune, you can utilize any other rune that you feel preference. Max life is very good to use. Getting more resource is very good as well. Any rune that you feel you need, that can do. But the mandatory rune definitely will be the Zan rune to get a lot more damage output. Now, of course, for the build to actually work, we will need the Dire Wolf's aspect. If you do not have this, Grizzly Rage is not classified as a werewolf skill, so as such you cannot use it. So before you go over to Shred and you want, well, you can use Shred at any point, but when Shred really starts to shine is once you do get the Dire Wolf's aspect to become using Grizzly Rage, and then you'll deal a lot more damage. I'm currently using the Waxing Gibbous Unique X. I find this, for me personally, to be one of the better pieces over a normal legendary item. Given that the Waxing Gibbous does have a 50% chance for Shred to deal double damage flat on the piece of equipment, if you do get a perfect rolled temper of Shred dealing double damage and a triple crit, that will only be 38% chance. So obviously this is very good to have. On top of that, your stat priority on the Waxing Gibbous will be a GA into Toxic Claws. Get that if you can, and obviously masterwork into Toxic Claws. Once that is fully masterwork, you can get up to 70x easily additional damage if you do not have other points on your amulet. As for my totem, I am using the Rabbit Bear. The very important temper will be Shred to deal double damage, and if you can masterwork into that, that's very important. 3 lands would be the best scenario, but me being casual, getting 3 is probably not going to happen. So 2 is good enough for me. Ensure on every offensive every offensive piece of gear that you do have, make sure you put Werewolf attack speed on. That is the most important, as you do want to try to cap your attack speed 1 and your attack speed 2 to 100% each, respectively. It's just going to make Shred go absolutely mad when they want to attack. My first ring is the Blurred Beasts. In no particular order can you have these aspects. They can be on any piece of gear that you would prefer. Obviously, this ring, I was fairly lucky, it got a triple GA, but it's not the ideal one with damage, but it is alright. My temper, as I said, would be attack speed on all of them, werewolf attack speed. Your actual stat you want on your rings would be attack speed as well for attack speed cap 1. And then I am using resource cost reduction on the one ring, and on the other ring is resource generation. And on your amulet, you can choose either resource generation or resource cost reduction. That is to assist if you are using the Crown of Lucion, just to have a little bit more smoother gameplay when you are using your spirit, because with Crown of Lucion it can get quite expensive. My next aspect on the other ring will be the Rampaging Werebeast, and then your amulet, your two main stats, if you can and you are very lucky, you get Envenom and Toxic Claw. Those two are priority if we can get it. I unfortunately haven't gotten either role in either one, but it is what it is. Even without that, I've still completed tier 100 pit, which is fine. As I say, I would suggest if we are getting a lot of chaos armors equipped, you need to put at least one armor roll, whether it is on the temper or on the flat stat of the amulet. Flat stat will probably be better because you can max out your armor a lot easier without stressing with having less armor. So that would help for me. And then as for our aspect, I am using Stormclaws onto the amulet to get it up to 87, well, 90% at maximum, where your critical strikes deals a lot more damage, and to a little bit of an AoE. It's not a big AoE, but we are dashing around very fast, so we do have good clear. For our spirit boons on the deer, I am just using Gift of the Stag for more spirit generation. We do bond with the eagle, and then if you do not have a lot of attack speed, use swooping attacks as priority to help you get a lot more attack speed. And then, of course, Avian Wrath for the critical strike damage bonus. If you do get to capped attack speed of 100%, you can change swooping attacks to Iron Feather for a lot more HP. How you want to check this is you will just go to your character screen by your stats. You go and look here and you see what is your attack speed bonus. I am currently on 54. I just unequipped it. So obviously I would want that because I need this to get to 100%. I am not anywhere near that right now, but that is the best way you can see to get that. All your temper attack speeds will be for attack speed 2. So remember that, guys. So then you can just calculate whatever attack speed, werewolf attack speeds that you got on the tempers, and that'll be classified to attack speed cap 2. And that's the easy way to work it out as a casual, non-blaster pro gamer. In terms of the wolf boon, I am using the Energize. It's very important. It works well with Fist of Fate as well, because when you deal damage, you have a little bit of a chance to restore your spirit. Thanks to our high attack speed and very high lucky hit chance, we're restoring spirit quite nicely as well. And then the last one with the snake, we are using my favorite word, the masochistic. Hopefully I got it right, just to get a lot more healing as we are carrying on and playing as well. It's another lucky hit which synergizes with Fist of Fate. So over to our chaos perks. The unique one I am using is Brawn over Brains per se. A lot more overpower damage. You do get a lot more healing. Shred naturally heals, so you do heal quite well, and you get a lot more life. However, you will lose a bit of resistance, so just keep an eye out on how your resistance is. Just get them to 50% to get capped. I am also using Purge of the Infected. That just is more poison. Yes, with Waxing Gibbous, we are always having critical strike anywhere, 100% uptime. But this as well, we do crit as well, but it does 60% increased damage, which is obviously very good to have. We're using Overabundance, which is exceptionally strong this season for the druids. Now, with me using the Quax rune, where it drains all my resources, but then I do get that 100% bonus damage for 1 second, that is tied onto Shred using resource. And so with how you're attacking, you can have that up very, very often. Now, I'm using Crazy Brew. The reason is we do get the 100% resource cost reduction. You will need cooldown reduction, so getting cooldown reduction on your Crown of Lucion, if you masterwork that, and then onto your totem would also be very good. Currently, my cooldown is at about 11 seconds, so it has a 6-second downtime, which is not that bad. So I'm using my potion a lot. Obviously, if you are using your potion to heal continuously, then you might not want to use this too early game, but for the later game, it's very, very nice. So we'll briefly go over the skill tree. Just 2 points into Maul. You will be using Maul just to get your shape-shifting bonuses, and then you'll be in Grizzly Rage, and Maul will go away and become Claw, which you might never use. I have 3 points into Heart of the Wild, 3 into Wild Impulses. Obviously, we max out Shred, and we do use Primal Shred. Everything will be in the guide if you just want to follow it much easier than listening to me ramble along here. I do have 3 into Digigrade. Nice, got it. More movement speed is always good. You obviously got to get a defensive, so 1 into Blood Howl, and do get innate Blood Howl. It does also restore a little bit of spirit, and then we deal a lot more damage while we're in Werewolf, which we always are. Obviously, we max out our Backlash, max out Ancestral Fortitude, and max out Vigilance. These two are very good to have. It's a lot more defense. I am currently using Wolves because I'm going to be very honest. I have no idea why am I using Wolves. I have no idea where to put my points. So there you go. That's your Teemo streamer right there. Your main important skills will be right there is Feral Aptitude. This is very good. Get movement speed and you're dealing damage while you're healthy. We're pretty much always healthy. Unless we're dead, then we're not healthy. But then we're dealing a lot of damage. We do use Rabies just for natural Rabies. So it spreads a bit quicker and further, which is very good because we naturally will be spreading Rabies, which poisons enemies and we get synergization. Toxic Claws and your Envenom, very important. As I did say on your amulet, if you can get these two, for some reason if you're lucky, get them both on your amulet and then prioritize masterworking Envenom over Toxic Claws because we are masterworking Toxic Claws via our Waxing Gibbous. On top of that, I am using, obviously, maxing out Grizzly Rage and getting all those nodes. We do get 3 into Quick Shift and Heightened Senses. And then you can use your remaining points here into the defenses, defensive posture, nature's resolve, and if you have any other points, use them anywhere else you feel you need, particularly here by the defenses. And then as for our key passive, it will be Looping Ferocity, exceptional good damage. Werewolf Critical Strikes deal a bunch more damage. Just briefly into my Paragon tree, for my starter, I do have Headhunter. My first Paragon board will just be Lust for Carnage. I'm not too sure if this is exactly how my guide was because when I was leveling up, I just beelined for all my legendary nodes. So they might not be in the exact same position. Maybe I must update that sometime. I currently have Fang and Claw. My second board will be the Ancestral Guidance I'm using a Keeper into that. The third board we currently have is Heightened Malice. You put in Spirit. And then your final board, which we don't have any other board to really use, you can use Inner Beast. You do not need this legendary node. And then we put in Dominate. Prioritize leveling up and allocating points into Dominate Glyph and then your Spirit Glyph. Obviously, all the others you get to the additional bonus and get them to 46 as soon as you can to get some nice damage bonuses. As for your elixirs, Elixir of Advantage is most likely the best. You get a lot more attack speed, a bit more lucky hit chance, which is fantastic. And your incenses is just for more willpower, or you can use the all stats if you do want. And using armor, the Song of the Mountain for more armor is very good because we do have a little bit of armor issues. So this one will help a lot. Use it when there's a lot of guys around you so you can get more armor. And on top of that, Soothing Spices also assists with giving us more armor, and that should cap our armor. And it's very fun, guys. So that is me trying to keep it as short and sweet as possible. That is Shred. Now what we do is we just hop into a 90. Let's just play, give a brief showcase of how it is going. The gameplay loop is very easy, very simple. You do not need to overthink it or overplay it. Your main thing will be is you need to Werebear, Werewolf, 6 times. Once you get 6 stacks of Quick Shift, all you need to do is go into Grizzly Rage and say bye-bye. I am now just going to absolutely shred away and hope for the best. Obviously, as I do say, I am not immune to death. I definitely can still die, but it is okay. So like I said, the health potion will have a cooldown on it, but I am not too stressed about it. It is still quite good. My resources is quite nice. And so we just get to shred away, and it does a lot of damage, and we can deal a lot more damage once we have a bit more attack speed. And yes, I know Shred is already attacking so damn fast, but we're not even close to the cap where we need to be, which is very, very, that's exciting for me. So I'm very excited to see where this can go, how far I can get this, me as a general noob streamer, you want to call it that. I've been having a blast. We've had a lot of fun with some live streams we've done. I am a little small live streamer from South Africa, very much having a blast of a time. We've had some cool sessions with amazing people. So if you are one that does like to watch live streams every now and then, you're most welcome to come say hello. And of course I will die as I do this, but you're welcome to come say hello, pop by, come chat, have a good time. We like just having casual fun, casual blasting. There's no pros here. Well, pros are most certainly welcome to give advice, tips, but we're here to have fun, blasting. You guys are all super awesome. Let's get to the boss and let's have a good time. Just want to say, guys, you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. This has been Skinner Shred, and Skinner out.